Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of The Jamie Hughes Show. My name as always is Jamie Hughes and today I'm going to be giving you my review of Churchill. Now as always with my videos, this review may include spoilers, so you have now been warned. So Churchill is definitely a film of two halves for me. I really didn't like the first half, but I got a lot better and I rather enjoyed the second half. And the reason I don't think the first half worked for me and it didn't really resonate with me is because it felt too... a lot of it felt forced and it felt very bright and like, oh, let's remember Churchill, the banter king. Do you know, it just didn't really work. It felt really forced and it almost felt like propaganda at points. Like the way they were forcing nationalism and the way they were forcing patriotism into the film to force it upon you, it did make me cringe in points. And all that kind of feel didn't really work with the subject matter they were really talking about, because they're talking about sending in 250,000 men off to war, possibly to die, but they're making like jokes about it. It just didn't really work for me in that sense early on, but I definitely think the film got a lot better as the tone got darker in the film. Especially, I say that the last sort of half an hour was actually very well constructed and very well put together. The way that they dealt with Churchill's PTSD and his depression, I think that was a lot better point of the film, and I just think the film did suffer in that point for me, because it didn't really get me into it as much, because I spent the first 20 minutes of the film cringing. So I think that the film could have benefited from a lot darker tone throughout. I think that really would have helped it, and I think I would have overall enjoyed it a lot more. So that's kind of like the most negative thing I've got to say about this film. So let's move on to a few positives, because there are quite a few actually. I thought this film was absolutely stunning in its visuals. I thought every single wide shot looked like a picture painting. It was absolutely stunning. You could tell this was a British film because every single scene was so thought out and it was so well crafted and it looked absolutely beautiful. I've also got to give props to Brian Cox, because I thought his performance as Churchill was so enigmatic and he drew me to him in every single scene he was in. I know he was in every scene, but he forced the attention onto him. He was so charismatic as Churchill. Yeah, he was just brilliant. And the only other thing I want to mention, which is kind of a negative, is that the fact in the trailer for this film they were like, witness the untold story of the D-Day landings and where this film was heading, but in actuality, nothing really was different than what we already knew, because the only thing that was different was a couple of scenes where Churchill did try and fight against Eisenhower to change some plans for D-Day, but that was all kind of smoothed over in like one scene, so it didn't really make any sense, and I don't really get why they made this film, because we learned nothing new from it. But that being said, as I said, there is a lot of positives to Churchill, but for me there was just something missing to make it truly great. As I said, for me personally, I would have loved to have seen a darker tone to this film and then almost like have it become a war room drama. I think that would have worked a lot better for me personally. But if you've seen Churchill, let me know what you thought about it down in those comments below. If you did enjoy this video, why not give it a like and why not subscribe, because you'll be helping me out massively. And I will see you in the very next episode of The Jamie Hughes Show. Ta-ra!